Well, it is Sunday, I think it's the 25th of January, and I am back on the White Away Trail, the Yellowjacket Loop, to cut some more of the fallen trees, cut down some of the logs there, or not cut them down, but cut them up so I can get them off the trail. Surprisingly, there's still a fair amount of snow on the trail here. I didn't expect that there would really be enough that it would be skiable. I don't know, perhaps they got some more snow. Maybe there's some fresh snow on this. Anyway, I didn't even bring my skis today. So I'll just be hiking and sawing. This is one of the logs that I cut last weekend, and there is fresh snow on top of it here. So it has snowed a little bit in the past week, and so those could not have been my tracks that I saw in the snow. They were somebody else's. Anyway, it's good to have a little bit of fresh snow up here, so that explains why it looks more skiable than I expected it to be. But again, I'm just hiking today. Well, now I am coming up on what will be my first tree to cut today. Get this one down out of the way, and I can see, looks like there's another trail. East Lake to Yellowjacket Trail. I might have to do a little bit of research to see exactly which trail I want to follow here. But anyway, I'm going to cut this tree away here and try out my new saw in the process. So for my new saw, I've got this, I don't even know how to pronounce that, Hunkenr saw that I ordered from Amazon. It is an imitation of the Silky Katana Boy. And I've already tried it out on some branches at home. It seemed to work pretty well, as long as the branches are at least an inch and a half in diameter. It doesn't work well in anything smaller than an inch and a half. But as you can see, it's a pretty impressive saw. It's got this pawl here to lock it in place and a hinged thing. And let's give it a try. All right, well, that made pretty quick work of that log. That looks like that part is about maybe seven inches or so, and it cut through it pretty well. Ah, yes. The can't beat the Hunkenr saw. So this is the trail I have just come up here, the White Away Trail. And I did check on All Trails, the All Trails app, and this is the trail that I need to continue on. It's the Yellowjacket Ski Trail. This says East Leg Tie Trail there. Not quite sure what that, if that is referring to the White Away or this, but anyway, that's the trail I need to go. So as I'm working my way up this east leg of the Yellowjacket Trail, there's not a lot of snow here, so this part definitely isn't skiable. As you can see, there's a lot of little branches and stuff littering the ground, but that doesn't really matter because once enough snow falls to ski on it, we'll be able to just ski over those little branches. So I haven't found the spot where there were a whole bunch of fallen logs when I skied here last time, but I assume I will find it sooner or later. Well, literally about 30 steps after I said I haven't found the spot where the logs are, I have now found that spot, at least one of the spots. I'm gonna see what I can do about these. I can definitely take a piece off of that log that's snapped off there. I'm not sure about this one. And I did not bring along any shovels today, so don't know if I would need to dig the snow away from this tree or not. Anyway, I'll see what I can do. Well, that was hard. I don't know quite how long it took me. I can check on the video and see, but my heart rate got up to 180 beats per minute when I was cutting there, which is a bit higher than I'd like it to be. It was definitely tiring. So that was just one cut. I really didn't have to cut that log. I wanted to see how the saw did. And it was hard going, but it made it through. But I don't know about this next log here, this closer one. It's the one that really needs to be cleared out, or one of them. So I guess I should have a go at it. But after how hard it was to cut through that big one there, and this one is probably about as thick as that, I don't know. Anyway, I guess I'll rest a bit and give it a try. And I see that you can't even see the thicker log I was talking about. I meant this log right here. It is thicker than, well, it may be about the same thickness. It looks like it might be a little bit thicker than the one I just cut. And I will have to cut it at least twice because it's so long that way. And this way it's trapped underneath another huge log that I just cut the end off of. So if I do just one cut, there's no way I can roll it out of the way. So I'll have to do two cuts to make a gap in it. So as I said, I'm going to rest a bit and decide what to do. Well, I decided to leave that big log for now. I did clean up the branches around it as best I could. A lot of the branches were frozen to the ground. And now I've continued up the trail. I did cut one smaller log out of the way. Here is a really impressive log. I'm glad it's not blocking the trail. It looks like it must have, well, yeah, the tree was rotting and snapped off due to the wind. And as you can see, there's a lot more snow up here in this area, even though it's also exposed to the sun here. So snow must have fallen more heavily here. And I'm coming up on this spot here where I really would like to clear these limbs out of the way, or these tree trunks out of the way, but unfortunately they are buried under some very dense snow. Even if I had a shovel with me, I don't think I could dig out enough to get most of these branches. So I think I'm going to have to leave them here for now. I guess this would be a place to come in the summertime to cut these branches away. So I've continued on up the trail. You can see here those trail markers there showing that this is a snowshoe trail, and marking them, those have got to be, well, the top one there, I'd say that is 20 feet high above the ground. So that shows how much snow they get here during some winters. Not this winter though, but here is one of the sets of tree trunks that I was really hoping to be able to clear out. This was really difficult to ski around, and unfortunately I don't think I can do much on it today. I maybe could cut out that nearer one, but not the one that's buried under snow. So that may be the way things are at this higher elevation where the snow is heavier. I may not be able to do any cutting until the snow melts away. Well, I've made it back to that shelf fungus that I showed in a video a few weeks ago when I was skiing here. And these are some of the logs, another set of logs that I was really hoping to be able to cut away, because this is a really difficult hill to ski up. And having logs partway up it and right here at the top, more logs made it especially difficult. And of course, this would be a really nice hill to ski down, but having logs at the very bottom really kind of spoils the fun of skiing down the hill and then having to stop suddenly to avoid the logs. And up at the top here, this biggest log, I've put my saw on top of it. The saw handle there is, I think it is, what is it? It's like 22, 23 inches long. And this tree trunk appears to be about exactly as thick as the saw handle, depending on your angle of looking at it. Maybe, yeah. And although it is free enough from the snow has even melted underneath it. So in theory, it could be cut away right now. I do not relish the thought of tackling that with this saw. It'd be much better if somebody came with a chainsaw and cut through it. But so I don't think I'm going to try to do this one today. If I were going to tackle a tree this big, I'd do one of the ones down lower, closer to the trailhead. I might cut away some of these branches just to make it easier to cross this log here. But this one is, the trunk is under this snow right here. And this snow is frozen like a sidewalk. So there's no way I can dig that trunk out and cut it away. And I don't know, I will walk down and check out that one way down there. I doubt that I'm going to try to cut that today. So anyway, I can clear away some of these limbs to make it easier to cross these logs, but I don't think I can clear the logs away. So I've decided to see if I can cut away this one trunk that is near the bottom of this hill. I should be able to at least make two cuts through it, one here and one over there. And even if the trunk is still frozen in the ground, and even if I can't roll it out of the way, somebody will be able to roll it out of the way in the summertime after the snow melts. Well, it took me about 35, I guess 38 minutes, according to the time on the video, to make two cuts through this log. I think the log is frozen. It was really slow going. And even when I got like down to these last filaments, I had to cut them for it to break free. It's like it was just frozen together. The rings on this log, I don't know if you can see in the video, but these rings right here are just incredibly close together. Maybe a millimeter apart for each ring. It's pretty amazing. Anyway, now I will roll this log to the side, and I'm gonna forget about those big logs up at the top, but I will, once I've rolled this log to the side, I will continue down the trail here. Well, rolling this log out of the way is a lot easier said than done. I tried cutting this branch off from over there and sticking it underneath, and I was able to lift the log up, but I just can't roll it. I suppose if I dug all the snow away, maybe it would roll, but I'm not going to do that. The way it is, it's the top of the log is just above the surface of the snow right now, so if it gets fresh snow on it, you can certainly ski over it. I'm going to leave it like this. I'm not going to strain my back or anything trying to move it. Well, I have made it around to the main trail, or I don't know what you would call it. This is actually a forest road in the summer, although I don't think they let anybody drive up it, but it is, I believe there are no trees down for the next mile along here. And I think I'm coming to a spot here where I can get a glimpse of Mount Hood, if I recall correctly, although that might be a little ways farther down the trail. Anyway, there's a lot of snow here, still plenty of snow for skiing. I did not strap my snowshoes onto my backpack because it's been so cold that the packed areas of the trail are quite hard, kind of like a sidewalk. But I am beginning to break through a little bit here. So if I had my snowshoes with me, or rather my mom's snowshoes with me, I would put them on. But it's only a mile back to the car, and I think I'll make it, especially as I go farther down the hill. The snow will get thinner and icier, so it'll be fine for walking on in terms of I won't sink into it. Looks like here the snow is still maybe, I don't know, 18 inches thick, deep. so half a meter or so. So there's still a good amount of snow up here. And here is that relatively unobstructed view of Mount Hood through the trees here, or this is the summit of Mount Hood. Of course, I'm on the side of Mount Hood right now. This side of Mount Hood faces pretty much south and slightly west. So it gets obviously a lot more sun, and the snow melts more quickly. You can see on the right of the video frame there, a lot of the snow has melted away from those. Those are just real, I know from hiking up there, that's very sandy, like, I don't know, volcanic ash or something like that. I think this is probably the last video for this hike. I'm making my way down the trail back to the car, and I do wish I had snowshoes with me. As you can see here, other people have been walking on the snowshoe trail, and you can see where their feet are breaking through. And that's what I'm doing. Maybe every third step I break through. So it's a bit tedious. Should have brought the snowshoes along. I think what's happened is it's now approaching 1 p.m. and the air temperature has risen quite a bit, and the sun has been shining on this snow. So that makes it, the snow is softer. The snow can't support as much weight, and I've got, you know, my body weight plus my backpack weight pushing down on this snow.